Welcome back to another episode of Oritech, where in the last episode we made this, which you can see behind me, which does the entire ore converting process from the ore block itself all the way to finished ingots. Even people in the comments were like, God, it's different, it's this, it's that. 5 plus 2 times, or 10 times plus 2 times, or more than that, whatever. A lot. But we now have literal tons of pretty much every single ingot type that we need for hopefully the foreseeable future, with over 7,000 copper, 5,000 nickel, 3,000 gold, etc. And in this episode, I want to get all of our Oritech machines hooked up to our main refined storage system. I said storage so many times there. So for things like this crafting, it will get automatically refilled, and for our quarry, which is way over yonder, over that way, those items there will get brought over to refined storage, as well as our flux farm, which I think it's worth just jumping over and showing you, is a little hole in the ground with a laser that you can see right there. You can't right here. That's it. That's our flux farm. Yeah, we gotta make it look a little bit better. So the first integration with our storage system that I want to do is with our power generation system over there. But in order to do that, we need a couple of things. And they're pretty much all cables, which just helps you connect stuff. Or I think it's exporters. If I remember correctly, importers and exporters are named with which the items go in and out of this system here. So if it's exporting from our refined storage, then that means it's leaving our refined storage and going into, let's say, our assembler. So we're going to need quite a few of these, which also means quite a few cables. Here we have a few of our exporters, and I'm going to grab some cables while we're at it. I have a little bit of a predicament hooking stuff up. Let me move some of these things over here, and I can get our cables connected up to our refined storage system. Fairly confident we could just plop it in here and it'll connect. Yeah, I'm right. And there are things called like wireless transmitters or whatever that can connect it up a little bit easier, but we'll get into those later, and this doesn't feel like a long enough connection for it to warrant that. But here we are at our assembler. Let's get a good look at this. I'm thinking up in the front here we could have 2. I guess it's actually worth seeing if we need more than one. I haven't really confirmed that just yet. So let's connect this up and see how this thing works. All right, so let's grab ourselves a clay ball and we can put it in the exporter. This should start putting in clay balls. Fantastic. Let's do that for the other 2 items that we need, redstone and sand. Both of those, incredible, are now going in. So it actually looks like we only need 1, and I guess we need to make sure this stays filled, because I would bet if I keep that empty, yep, we're gonna have redstone filling in. So we need to make sure that this is stocked properly and accurately. That'll come in a little bit. Let's patch this up and get moving on to the next progress step, which I guess is using those network things that I talked about. So the 2 network interfaces that we need is a network transmitter and a network receiver, as well as a network card to connect the 2. These are great. Oh, fantastic. Oh, this makes it actually a little bit cheaper. Still, what the heck? I need 2 netherite ingots? Well, I guess I do have access to the nether, and 1 ancient debris gives us 2 netherite scraps, so netherite isn't as expensive as it is normal, like base Minecraft. Still not great! Okay, I guess let me grab some food and fix up our crops, and then I can be on my way. Ooh, one thing I was thinking about while I was planning on getting food, we could grab ourselves a jetpack, potentially. And maybe that's something I do instead. This is relatively expensive, but in case there's any dangerous nether mishaps that occur, it's probably worth getting ourselves an exoskeleton jetpack just to avoid any potential issues. So we already have our exo chestplate, which is one of the ingredients for our exo jetpack. The next thing we need is a jetpack, which requires an advanced battery, which, expensive. I think we might need to grab ourselves a refinery. And honestly, the back of this barn needs a little bit of detailing, so let's pop ourselves some in, and it should also connect up to our power source, so we should get plenty of usage out of it. Great, so we have our indretic compound. The next thing we need is lava. Glub, 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 glub. Well, back we go. So if we can pop in our lava, just do that twice, and we should get our, what is this called? I don't even remember, sulfuric acid. And now in order to get our battery, I'm gonna put down a centrifuge right next to it, connect it up with a fluid pipe, fluid inserted, and let it suckies from there. I've also made our dubious containers, these absolute rapscallions. Give me my output. Oh boy, we got advanced batteries. These are used for, we can make a gun. What the heck was that? I hope nobody has like the burping phobia, because that was epic and I'm keeping that in. But we now have our advanced batteries. We should be able to make our jetpack. Here we go. Oh, and our exo chestplate charges it. Oh, that's super cool. Okay, so now all we need is everything still. Okay, I guess we can make a few more of these portable tank doohickeys. And then we need our ion thrusters. These are relatively expensive. We have our advanced batteries now though, so that's one of the things off the list. And we need 3 of each of these sections. So we have our advanced batteries, those are good. The next thing we need are reinforced carbon sheets, which require light nafla. I don't know how to pronounce that. This we're actually kind of already creating. And I think all we need to do is add, whoa, why is it so big? Add another refinery chamber module to the top of our refinery over here that's making diesel. While looking at the picture here, it needs to literally be on top of? So confident I did that, but I guess I didn't. If I connect it up then, there it is. I'm getting in our 3rd refinery, I guess total, our 2nd refinery of the video. And I've hooked it up to our light nafla. So now we can put in our carbon rods into here. I am giving myself a lot of effort when we get to auto crafting and setting up all of these different modules and stuff. We will be able to do it with refined storage, but I'm making it a challenge for myself for all the ordering and such. But let's grab ourselves some carbon fiber strands. Just as a reminder, we need 2 of these per, and I think we need 5 in total. So we need 6 because even numbers. So that's actually not as bad as I thought. Here we go. It's going very slowly, and we can't put add-ons on this, but I don't really think that's a huge deal. You should see, awesome, we have our refined carbon sheets. So now I'm fairly confident that is everything that we need. We do need to craft our flux gates, but then that's everything we need. Assembling up our flux gate, that's the last one we need. We also then need to make these things, which you, battery, and you. Our first ion thrusters. These are super cool. And once we get a backpack, we'll be able to pop in our exo jetpack with an elytra and get the boosted exo elytra, which I think is the coolest of them all. All right, this should be, there we go, our last ion thruster. We can make our jetpack. I need my exo backpack doohickey. There we go. Exo jetpack that we need to charge up for 30 months just because it takes so long. It might soon be time to get looking into superconductors and such, because 2 mil has taken still a while, but that'll do us for a little bit of time. I can fly. Oh. Is there a height limit? No, there is not. And look at this. There's no fall damage, so I'm just living life. Oh, this is an upgrade. And all this just so that I could go get some netherite, which I guess is the best block in the game. But it feels like this jetpack is the best thing in the game. This is killer. We might need to move out of our starter house. I was thinking of using this as our base. You keep building off of it. I feel like I need a big warehouse to zoom around in. Because this is sweet. Everything looks so small now. That's our base. Look how tiny it is. Well, now that we have our jetpack, we can head off to the nether. And I do unfortunately think it's worth charging up our jetpack to full, because it'll help with our hand drill efficiency and it'll charge it up while we're using it, so that I don't have to come back here as frequently. 2 hours and almost 40 ancient debris later, we have a pretty successful mining session on our hands. I also grabbed ourselves a ton of quartz, which let us enchant all of our exoskeleton gear with protection 4, except for the chest plate, which is just unbreaking. Still, I think the best thing to get unbreaking on, since I do believe it lowers the amount of RF used for certain things like jetpacking. We also had enough to enchant a hand drill with Fortune 3 unbreaking 3, which means our handy dandy diamond pickaxe with Fortune 3 is now useless, because this can be recharged infinitely. And if I got myself an anvil, could combine it with my efficiency 4 and have a pretty OP hand drill. What I want to check though is if Unbreaking 3 actually does anything. So this is at 10,000 RF, and let me actually charge this one up to 10,000, and then we'll dig 2 pieces. So this first one is with our efficiency 4. That broke it and used 6. Now with our Unbreaking 3, none. Yeah, a lot of bit better. Oh, and then the other thing about ancient debris is that this can be fragmented in a fragment forge into 2 netherite scrap, which can then be used as 1-to-1 conversion into netherite, which means, let's pop this in here, we will get 40 times 2 netherite scrap. And while that's cooking up, let me craft up an anvil, which I have such a great place to put it, right there. No, that is devastating. All right, well, I need to get myself, I guess, an efficiency book. That is truly devastating. I thought it would work. 78 netherite scrap is definitely not shabby whatsoever. Let's grab ourselves our gold and pop these in to cook up. That one's gonna take a while. I'm gonna double up here as well, and we'll just have both of them cooking. Well, we have enough netherite ingots to craft up our network transmitter. So we got that, and then our receiver, I need more ender pearls. Well, I suppose in order to get more ender pearls, I need to go to our Enderman graveyard, which I hope still has Enderman. It looks like it does. It's so weird that Enderman, like, gets stuck here. It kind of makes no sense. 1 ender pearl. Oh, and flying makes this a breeze. This will never not be terrifying, but this should be enough Enderman. Oh my goodness, how are there so many? With those ender pearls, we have enough for our receiver as well. We also, though, need a network card, which thankfully we can afford. Now, I don't really know how to use these. I'm gonna guess we have our network transmitter, and this needs a network card. Okay. We also have our network receiver, which I can link to this, and I guess is not connected. Okay. So let's bring this over to our quarry, and I can probably just pop it here. I don't think it matters too much. And then if we put our network card in there, it's 500 blocks away, but this should now be connected. So I'm pretty confident if I make myself an importer, grab cables, and actually I think there's a thing called a stack upgrade, which will let us do stacks of items at a time. We should be able to make our stack upgrade, and let's just head over there and hope that I didn't miss anything. Okay, so let's just assume, and I think I do want everything from this bottom chest into here. Hold on. Do I need to put this on the chest? I do. And there we go. We're getting 1 piece of dirt at a time. That is absolutely too slow. So let's do a stack. There we go. And we should see over at our base those items getting put into our refined storage system. This, however, is going to fill up insanely fast. I guess that means we need more refined storage space. We have enough right now for 2 sets of 64K storage, and honestly, I think my bigger problem is going to be energy again. We are running out of the things that we need, mostly redstone, in order to make, I think I have it in my backpack here, the clay catalyst beads. So we need a lot of sand and clay, which are farmable-ish, but redstone is not. This I'll have to go mining for frequently, unfortunately. And I'm not really sure what to do. Like, we could fragment forge it. I don't know if that's worth doing, but at least for the time being, I have a few bits of redstone left, but not a ton. So I think the goal is going to be, I guess, quickly running over to our quarry, hooking up all the storage units there into our refined storage system, and then I think we're gonna have to continue to leave this. I'm really trying to get the quarry up and running. We're so close to fully automating our energy production, but until we can get those clay catalyst beads, I don't think we can turn this thing on. Ooh, another thing I need to do is get a void upgrade for our diamond backpack here. This, I don't know how much obsidian I have, is otherwise relatively cheap, but I suppose I need to go and put all the items from all of these back into this, which means I need some cables. Thankfully, we did have enough for a void upgrade. I'm actually going to confirm how this works. Yeah, we have enough. Awesome. I think there is an advanced void upgrade. I'm not sure what it does differently. I just assume it has more storage slots for things to be able to void. And okay, those are officially gone. What we can also do is take outputs from you and have all of them be outputs so that hopefully everything is going to go into our backpack. From there, we can pull our backpack into our receiving refined storage thing. And yeah, we're already getting items in there. Fantastic. All right, we are getting way more items per second than our stack upgrade can handle. But I am hoping that shortly, once everything's in there, it'll start calming down. I also need to hook it back up. That's why. Items are leaving our diamond backpack now. This has been re-hooked up. I think the last thing we need to hook up is this bad boy. And this should be relatively easy. I think I'm just going to have a pipe go all the way over again to this backpack and send it through that way. In my mind, it seems easier. We'll see. We'll see if that's the case. Hooking it up now, we should see in just a second items come through and up. Perfect. And this is actually clearing up pretty darn well. Should see that getting power. I'm not seeing items, but that doesn't mean they're not there. Kind of hoping, yeah, one will go past. There we go. So confirm that it's working. That means we have basically infinite fluxite, which is great. The reason this is great is because fluxite is used to make turbo fuel, which is something I want to do because, well, we never have enough power. And extending the use of our power from diesel into turbo fuel is actually going to be quite helpful. So we do have 2 fuel generators ripping light nepha. For whatever reason, this one is 100% charged and not running. And these are going like crazy. I think that's because our energy pipes just aren't transferring enough. We can afford this, I guess. Oh boy. That makes 4. I think we need to upgrade our infrastructure backbone before we could do anything fun with upgrading to super fuel. And this is going up. We might fill this up as well. Dude, there's too many things to focus on. And truthfully, this is my fault for sure because I haven't automated any of the crafting recipes, so I'm always crafting and recrafting stuff. So one of the new things that we actually haven't made is this energite ingot, which is nickel and fluxite. Thankfully, we have a bunch of both of those now. So we have that out of the way. The next thing is electrum, which we have a little bit of. That's fine. I have made most of the dubious containers and stuff that I can afford right now. And yeah, we're at 8, which means at best we can make 8 times 4 superconductors. Is that what they're called? Yeah. So 32 of these, which won't even bring our power from here to over here. So instead of maybe doing this, we're gonna work on something else because I think we're gonna have to change, maybe not our processing, but quite a bit of the other stuff. And that might involve us trying to make a bedrock miner in the next episode. I think I'm pushing myself in all the wrong directions. But again, I'm not looking anything up. I don't know what to do, and I'm just winging it, so we're trying our best here. I suppose instead, let me grab things like raw copper or ores that I have none of, and grab ourselves a exporter. Because we have 2 of these fragmenting forges that I probably don't need this chest anymore. I'm hoping underneath of here, and I think I'm right, that I can hook up a cable and have that go into our refined storage system. And this will be for all of the ores, auto-exporting from our storage system into our fragmenting forge. There we go. That is forging. That should give us 2 and 2, which is a pretty good yield. And then I also need to hook up this fragmenting forge. Okay, well, we have a pipe going into this thing. Yeah, I'm going to be making huge changes in the next episode. We're going to fix it. We're going to fix a lot of this. I just can't have tech in a house like this. I need something way bigger. I need something where cables can run in it, not look stupid. Still making good progress because, well, we have automated our ores and such. And honestly, I think most of our stuff so far is now done. The one main concern I have left in this episode is getting enough redstone. Because in future episodes, we'll start automating the sand and clay aspects of that machine. But I don't really have a plan yet for redstone. So that's my one concern. That's still going to be super manual, but hopefully soon the clay and the sand are going to get done. I do have one question for our quarry over there. Can I make a solar panel? Is that something I can afford yet? Oh, like kinda. Like, I guess it's It's not the end of the world to use it for our quarry if it's either that or nothing, you know? Let's see if I can make one. Let's see if by the end of the episode, the very, very end, I can make one. Allegedly, I can. Make 2 of them? It's because I'm silly and forgot to craft them with the processing units I just made. There we go. We can make 4 of these bad boys, and I'm going to need a lot of machine cores. Hopefully 25 is enough. And then ideally, we'll be able to make some progress on our quarry after, what, 6, 7 episodes? That's the funny number, everyone. Alrighty, let's pop in solar panel. That took a lot. Okay. I think we need power on the sides. Yes. And I'm already out of machine cores. Well, this thing is kinda running. Hey, that's something. And it should be running with Silk Touch now. Hopefully. Yeah, we got a stone piece. Okay, well, let me do some deforestation and we can get the remaining machine cores that we need. Minor deforestation later. We have, I'm hoping real bad, enough wood in order to get this thing situated. All right, 4 big solar panels. It's barely even running. Oh my god. Production rate 32. This is ridiculous. We made a ton of good progress today. We've hooked stuff up. Our quarry can run, albeit slowly. It'll go. We'll get iron, we'll get redstone, we'll get lapis, we'll get ores, we'll get coal. We'll get a bunch of stuff. A bunch of very, very useful stuff that we're going to use in future episodes. So, let me AFK here, and I will see you all in the next episode. Have a good one. Peace!